Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another episode of The Cider Drinker. On today's episode I am going back to the Aston Manor company to try out another one of their ciders for you guys, and it's a pretty big one at that. Today's cider is Knight's Premium Reserve. Now, the Aston Manor company has had a bit of a faulty track record in my opinion. Some of their ciders have been okay, and some of their ciders have been pretty rubbish. So, it'll be interesting to know how Knight's Premium Reserve stands out against the rest of them, but I'm sure we'll find that out sooner rather than later. But before that, as with all the ciders I've reviewed on here, I'm going to give you some details on Knight's Premium Reserve. Knight's Premium Reserve comes in 660ml bottles, and I do believe that is the only way you can get this cider as well. Now, the alcohol percentage of this particular one is 5.8% in volume. Doesn't say anywhere on the bottle if it's sweet or dry, so I'm just going to have to find that out in the taste. Now, the price, well, I don't know what it is on the Aston Manor website because it doesn't actually list the price on it, but on Pure Spirit Drinks you can get this bottle for £1.75. So, will the price match the taste? We're going to find out shortly. There we are. Well, as you know, the other Aston Manor cider that I tried that was 660ml was Kingston Press. The original was pretty good actually for the price because I got it for £1. It's now £1.25 at the time of this recording. But the pear one was pretty crap if I'm being honest. So, will Knight's Reserve be as good as the original Kingston Press, or will it be as bad as the pear one? Well, I'm sure I'll find out, but let's just take a look at the bottle. I actually quite like the design on the front of this. It's got a nice old knight crest at the top there to distinguish it from the other Aston Manor ciders. I'm assuming that's the logo that they're using for the Knights one. So it says Fruit from the Hills. Oh, and it's also got 5 stars on the bottom, 5 gold ones at that. So I think they're just trying to show it that this is their premium cider. Now, I'm always a bit dubious when you see premium on the front of a cider, because usually they list that when it's cheap and nasty. So, hopefully premium will actually mean it is a top quality cider and not one of these crap knockoffs. Anyway, let's have a look at the back. Exclusively produced on our Crompton Oaks farm. Oh god, no, not that name. Oh god, I really hope this isn't as bad as Crompton Oaks, I really do. Anyway, Crompton Oaks Farm in Malvern, and made with a finest blend of locally sourced bittersweet apples. Again, they use the word with, which is not good. This premium, lightly sparkling cider is crisp, refreshing and full-bodied, containing no artificial sweeteners, colours or added flavours. Ah, well that's a little bit reassuring actually. No artificial stuff is in this bottle, so that's raised my hopes up a little bit, so I'm hoping that it's actually going to taste pretty good. Obviously it contains sulfites for freshness, so, you know, nothing out of the ordinary there. So, without further ado, I'm going to crack this big bottle open. Again, I'm always a bit wary with the big bottles. Yep, there's the carbonation. Yeah, I'm always wary with the big bottles because they try and pump so much cider into it and you just don't know whether the value for money is going to match the taste. So I'm hoping that I'm going to enjoy this bottle, otherwise that 660ml of cider gone to waste. Let's give it a whiff. The instant thing that springs to mind here is it smells a lot like the Kingston Press original. It's got a bit of a sweet smell coming off of it, but there's actually quite a nice apple aroma coming off of it too. That does actually smell quite good. You know, especially for the price I got this for, £1.75, that's pretty cheap for a cider. Especially nowadays. Yeah, that sounds pretty, you know, that smells pretty good, so I'm going to go and pour some of this into the glass. Obviously I'm not going to get all of it in because this is 660ml. And as we know, 660ml is way more than a pint. I'd say a pint and a quarter, something like that. But I'm going to see if I can get most of this in. Yeah, that'll do. Hopefully I'll be able to drink the rest, if it's nice. So there we go, this is what it looks like. Typical cider colour really. Nice nice golden colour to it, a lot of carbonation, lots of little thrifty bubbles coming off of there. I don't even know what thrifty is, I don't think it even describes bubbles, but there we go. Nice and clear, I can see you guys clearly through it. I hope you can see me too, my dashing good looks. So there we go. Right, that actually looks quite good, so I'm going to go and give it a whiff in the glass. Now that it's actually in the glass, it smells a bit bitter, I'd say, a bit bitter. So the sweetness is totally gone. I was going to say it's got that vinegary sort of smell to it, but no, it really doesn't. Some of the other Aston Manor ciders that I've had, they've had that really like strong, almost like a vinegar sort of smell coming off of it, which instantly screams cheap, nasty, stay away. But no, that actually does still smell quite pleasant. So here we go. Is it going to be as bad as Crumpton Oaks, or is it going to be as good as the Kingston Press original? Let's try it out. That is actually quite nice. That's really pleasant. Oh, thank God for that. It is definitely very full-bodied. You can really feel it filling out in your mouth. That sounds wrong, I know, but there's a kind of a slight oak characteristic coming off of it. It doesn't say that it's been matured in oak fat, but I'm getting that slightly. Let me just get a second opinion. Right, so it's got a very sharp characteristic to it too. There's a sort of like a bittery, like sort of a bitterness, you know, a real bitter undertone throughout, and the aftertaste is it actually leaves quite a juicy. I know it's not really a taste, but it's, you know, it's really like juicy, you know, like you know, when you, like I say, when you bite into a really juicy apple or something, and you just get all the, you know, the real softness of it coming through. That's pretty much what the aftertaste is on this. So it's got a real mix of bitterness and juiciness coming off of it. I'd say that they've probably used some bittersweet apple types on this, so that's actually really good. There is a slight hint of sweetness to it, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this is probably going to be a medium dry cider. Like I say, there is that slight touch of sweetness to it, but it's not overpowering, and it certainly does not taste artificial either, as it shouldn't do, because it does say they do contain no artificial sweeteners or preservatives or flavours or anything like that. So thankfully, I know I'm actually getting real cider in this, which is good. That is actually really pleasant. I really like that. It's yeah, it actually does do what it says on the bottle. It's very full-bodied. It's definitely refreshing me with every mouthful, and like I say, it's got a real bitter, crisp aftertaste to it too. So it does its job. I'm well chuffed with that. Finally, I've actually found a really actual proper decent cider that Aston Manor do. And thank God, because I really didn't want to waste 660 mils of cider for nothing, you know. I mean, obviously, you know, because it is, you know, it isn't like a proper real cider, like, you know, the Watkins ciders that I've tried and everything. But for ones that you can actually, I do think you can get this off the store shelves. I haven't seen it around in any of my areas, but I'm pretty sure you can get this in some stores somewhere. So, you know, for the price of it as well, this is actually a bloody good tasting cider, definitely. Wow. That is, I'm real pleasantly surprised with this. Just the overall package is just so good on this. And the good thing is, I've actually got 2 other night ciders in the fridge as I speak, so I'm hoping that those 2 are going to be as good, if not better, than this one. So, I'm just going to get a final taste before the final verdict. Yeah, it's just really full-bodied throughout, but it's also, you know, a pretty smooth texture to it. You know, some of them have kind of a syrupy texture to them, but this one is just really nice and smooth, and like I say, it's very refreshing. It's got those juicy apple aromas coming from it, but there's also that slight bitterness too at the end, and it just leaves a really refreshing and crisp aftertaste too, so it just does its job so well, and well, I'm just pleased about it, I can tell you that, because I was kind of worried about this one, but my hope has been slightly rekindled with the Aston Manor guys. They've actually produced a pretty good quality cider here. Oh, excuse me, it is obviously a bit gassy because there's a lot of carbonation coming off of it, but oh, excuse me, but the actual price that you pay for this bottle, this is very much worth it. If you see it in the shop, try it out, because this is very good. I will say that the oak characteristic does go away after the first couple of sips, so obviously it's just a very slight thing there, but for those that don't mind not having an oak characteristic in their ciders, definitely check this one out. Well, as for the rating, I am going to go and give Knight's Premium Reserve Cider an 8 out of 10. Very, very surprising, and pleasantly so too. Like I said, if you see it in the shop for that amount of price, definitely get this. This is a top quality cider from the Aston Manor company, at an affordable price too. That is really pleasant. A nice old beautiful cider right there. Well, that was another episode of the Cider Drinker for you guys. I hope you liked it, because thankfully I did. I will be back some other time with another delicious and hopefully tasty cider, and thankfully the Crompton Oaks name has finally been restored in my faith. Thank God for that. Until next time guys, take care, and I'm going to finish me off this bottle of Knight's Premium Reserve. Cheers guys.